As a child, in fact not far away from here, I would go, especially on holidays, I would go with my brothers and cousins in my grandfather's pirogue to check the fish trap, to see the various beautiful fish we would have for lunch. And this was almost a daily ritual. So that's firstly what the ocean means to me. Until today, I imagine thousands of people the world over gets their nourishment from the sea. And I would not like to see this treasure trove of nourishment being polluted by any nastiness, be it plastic bottles or whatever trash we dish into the ocean. You see, I believe visitors from the world over come to Seychelles to discover the natural environment, virgin forest, and the same thing applies to the ocean. And without this, there's no sense of their coming here. And of course, it will be senseless and even a crime. It is a crime, in fact, to be polluting the environment, the beaches, the seas, with plastic bottles and whatever trash sometimes we throw around. This should not be. You see, I believe whether it's the ocean or the forest of the Seychelles, those things were here before us. We came here. Human came here. And I believe that we've got no right at all to disturb the natural process of our environment by polluting it with whatever. In fact, I've noticed this. I was talking about my childhood earlier, and compared to now, it's amazing. It's unacceptable to notice that now we've sort of get to a point where I believe people think it's normal to pollute our environment. This should not be. It can't be. It's not acceptable. The animal, the trees were here before us. They were the first inhabitants of what today we call the Seychelles. And it's our duty now to protect and preserve it. If not us, who? If not now, when? Unless we do something now, immediately, it will be a disaster for Seychelles. for the world also, but especially for us islanders here. Imagine no visitors coming here. Imagine people all over the world, especially today with the advantage of mass media, saying there's no sense in going to the Seychelles, it's polluted. This will be a shame. That's why I say, if we don't do something now, today, when? I believe this problem of littering, carelessness, is encouraged. It's the same thing like people defies traffic lights. It says red means stop, but people insist on going anyway, knowing that they might cause an accident. It's the same thing with this littering problem. People throw things out of the window. Empty boxes, empty plastic bottles, on an everyday basis. And that's why I say we've come to a point where we are accepting it as normal, when it's not. It shows gross lack of education, gross lack of concern for whatever we call environment, be it nature, be it plants, being people. And this, I think, is a crime that should be dealt with. Again, I say, if not now, when? If not us, who? What are we waiting for to do something? We're just destroying our own life, our own livelihood. We're destroying this place where we live. And this is not acceptable. I believe the NGOs are doing their part, and it's now up to the government to do its part, because it's the government that passes law, and we don't only need regulations that nobody is adverse to. We need to reach a point where the law is enforced. Maybe we need to come up with more drastic measures in terms of prevention, but at the same time to educate our people in regards to the dangers ahead if we carry on polluting our environment, especially our ocean. I believe in regards to plastic bottles and plastic stuff, we need to have a national effort to find a solution, to find a replacement even. And I don't think it's the responsibility of the NGOs or only the government. It's the whole nation. The whole nation must come forward and says and propose, this is what we need to do. It's for the sake of our next generation and the next generation after. Otherwise, we're sending a negative message to our children and our children's children that it's okay, and it's not okay. Something must be done nationally. So we have individuals doing their part, but I believe it should be the concern of all of us. It should be a nationwide effort to deal with this. But should we individuals be keeping on doing those sort of effort? What about the businesses? What about those big businesses that brings in all sorts of product for the shops? The shops, I'm sure they can't manage as well as I do to say, no, we don't want those pickup loads of plastic bottles. They will take it and sell it. And most people get into this trap of buying those plastic bottles. And that's why earlier I was saying, I think it's a national effort. And individually, yes, we can try and do our part, but to a certain extent. Because we reach a point where you can no longer manage unless something is done fast. In regards to littering after concerts, I think you're referring to those concerts that are outdoors. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I do mine indoors. I'm not so much of those huge outdoors concerts. I know that after such concerts, you're bound to find lots of rubbish around. But it's not just after concerts. It's after everything, every national, big, huge national events in town, whether it's carnivals, festivals, street parties, and those sorts of events, you'll find litters around. Even though I know there are hired companies who are contracted to collect those rubbish after those events, and even in the stadiums, you immediately afterwards you'll find those sort of rubbish around, and again there are contracted companies who have been hired to clean the place up. Probably sometimes they don't do it properly, or they don't do it at all. But at the end of the day, should we have been throwing our rubbish around? Should we have been throwing our bits of papers, paper plates and bottles around? No. It should have been dumped properly in a dustbin. There are lots around. And usually, when you have those events, there are facilities to put rubbish in. I know. But, again, it's become acceptable to just throw a piece of tissue paper around. This boils down to education. This issue of a national effort, maybe starting in the family. Maybe this education in regards to throwing rubbish around should start in the family. And maybe this is something for the Ministry of Family Affairs to be involved with. Everything starts in the family. Everything. A proper structured family with clear-cut rules of do's and don'ts will ripple in the village, in the neighborhood, and elsewhere. If each and every family, each and every village, every district is trying, educating, inducing our people, especially the children, not to throw things around unless you've got a proper place that's been assigned to put it in. With this sort of effort, I believe slowly we can shift this trend. Because there are people who walk miles with the plastic bottles or the trash, be it tissue or paper plates, waiting for an appropriate place to put it in. There are people who are already doing it. But I believe it starts also with the family, maybe the school afterwards, maybe the society later on. But in the family it should start. Don't throw things around. Then we won't have this problem of people going to organize the birthday parties at the beach and leaving all their rubbish there. They will bring it back home. There are people who do it. And maybe we should have family role models, and we should encourage those people who are doing it, so that the child, a couple of kids walking around, one would throw bottles or a piece of paper around, and the other kid would say, hey, no, you should not be doing this. All right, I'll pick it up. Yes, pick it up. Let's wait for a dustbin. There's one there. We'll put it there. Even cigarette butts. Why have it become normal just to throw it around? No. You can wait until you find appropriate place to throw it in. I think we can do it. We can shift it slowly. I think it's not just about empty plastic bottles. It's about all these bad behaviors that need to be dealt with. Let's start with the family. Let's start at home. Let's start in our neighborhood. Yes.